In our continuing theme of upgrading the Porsche 930's exterior, I've got something in store for the rear wing. I know what you're thinking. This is the legendary whale tail. And as much as I do love it, I've always thought of it as a pretty bulky piece. The Porsche is pretty streamlined, but this T-tray, as they call it, this rubber trim spoiler piece here, is on later turbos. The earlier turbos had a nicer streamlined one that comes up and doesn't have this whole area here and just swooshes into the back. And I thought, well, you know what? Why don't I get an early turbo rear spoiler and slap it on? But the early turbos didn't have intercoolers, so their whole setup's completely different and does not work, sadly, with the newer turbo cars. So what I did was a little bit of research, and it's inconclusive, but there is this piece. And this is a Carrera rear spoiler. So this rear spoiler came on non-turbo versions of these cars, and as you can see, it's nice sleek design. It has just this little lip, which is more reminiscent of the earlier turbo Porsches. So I'm thinking this might be the way to go. It's gonna kind of give it a more streamlined look. There's some arguments as to downforce and whether this one creates more downforce than this rear lip area. And again, there's no proof. If Roof was using it on a lot of their cars, which were ripping on the Nürburgring, I'm sure it's good enough. But really, around here, we only go 100 kilometers an hour, maybe a little bit more, but nothing that's gonna really need downforce in the rear. So this is more of a cosmetic upgrade. Believe it or not, this is just bolted down, so there's no tape, double-sided tape, which is a good thing. As I said, the bolts are a little rusty, but I should be able to manage removing them. They don't look like they're real bad. All the other 12, maybe 14 nuts came off. I've got 2 left here, which is a very good sign. I don't think I'm gonna be breaking any studs, which is good. And I'll pop these guys off, and then we'll see if this is glued on by chance. My assertion that this is a Mako paint job may come haunt me here, but I think we should be all right.
Oh, it was painted on a little, wasn't it?
Yeah. Actually, it looks like they took it off.
Yeah?
Yeah. It does look like that.
That's a little surprising.
Yeah, see, this is... Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, it's got a slit.
Oh, interesting.
It's brilliant.
Nice.
But yes. Well, it looks like some of our bolts or some of our studs do line up and some of them don't. But there are some clear differences. You can see this is a little bit more narrow, like the mold.
Yeah,
I feel like we can stretch it out and should be all right.
Yep.
But this part here is definitely thinner. So the lower rubber portion is thinner than the turbo one, which is much thicker. So we will have a leading edge on that, but only on the underside. And the good thing is, on the sides, the bolts or the studs do look like they're gonna line up. Like they're perfectly offset. So that's a good thing. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 studs that we will need to drill to make this work. I'm still not 100% sure if this is gonna work out, but I bought this for 400 bucks off of eBay. It is actually a brand new Porsche piece. So I'm hoping that I don't ruin it and turn it into a cause of trying to experiment here. But I'm confident we can make this work. Just have to drill a couple holes in the deck lid there. It looks like the studs here are lined up with our holes, and this stud has no hole. So sadly this one's, I'm hoping it's gonna be covered up by the lip, but we're gonna mark it right here. And oh, it doesn't wanna stick. That's not great.
You just put that
I just put that wax all over it, yeah. But okay, and on the top side, we've got 2 to drill. One here. Now we drill.
Time to cringe, everyone. Don't slip.
I'm not. Oh, and it's fiberglass, so it's real easy to work with.
Oh, yeah?
Look at that.
I didn't know it was fiberglass.
First hole down.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I thought it was. It doesn't make that metally noise.
Yeah.
All right, one down. Bunch more to go. And now, really, the Porsche purists shouldn't get that angry because if you need to fill this, it can be done.
Just fiberglass, yeah. Ooh. There we go. Look at that.
Okay, let's clean this off and do a test fit.
Tight fit?
Yeah, it is a tight fit. I think I'm gonna have to open them up.
Just a hair?
See it. All right.
Oh. Man.
This one here, yeah, I'm gonna have to open up the ones in the rear. Because you can see it's just off enough where it doesn't want to fit. Take two here. See. Man, you can already tell. See the way it's bowing out?
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. But I will continue to push it and try to get this to go in. That sound of fiberglass making noise is never good either.
No.
Is it, DP?
No. The crackling of fiberglass?
Yeah.
It's not ideal.
Nope. It's not, but it's going.
So close.
It is. It feels like it's pretty much in there. It's weird. And these guys, like that's in there. It doesn't want to go any further here, which is
It's like the groove inside the rubber isn't deep enough, maybe?
I don't know. Good question, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it goes and sits in that
No,
groove.
it seems like it just needs to go a little bit.
Get angrier with it?
Yeah.
Still, that looks pretty good from here, PT. It passed the good from far test.
What do you think, though, DP?
I think it looks pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah.
Very streamlined,
I'm
right?
digging it.
It's got a nice sort of profile with the
Yeah.
back lip here.
Much cleaner. You can see it almost. Like, I don't know if this is a flaw in the Porsche. Come over, have a closer look here. Like, this edge here lines up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And then come over here. You can see the dude that cut it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, didn't do the greatest job.
I think if you tighten it down, though, it might fit.
Yeah, me.
Bit of a gap here, PT. What's going on with that?
Well, it's actually proving more difficult to put these nuts back onto some of the studs that I had to drill. It's tight spaces in here, so I'm hoping once I get that stuff in there, I should be able to close some of these gaps off. But that hole for that one bolt or that stud right in this corner,
Yeah.
oh man.
Nightmare to get at.
Yeah, it's like such a super
Such a
nightmare.
tight space.
It's like,
It's interesting though. It
Yeah.
fits really nice, pretty much everywhere else except that one spot
I know.
right here. Huh?
I don't know if that's just a manufacturing flaw or who knows. The way this is might be a little bit different.
Mhm.
The deck lid for the rubber trim on the Carrera RS, which may be the difference. But I'm determined. I'm gonna get this tiny little nut onto that stud.
Back to square one, huh?
We got to open those holes up. That's what I think this lip is coming from, and the same thing on the other side. It's just not sitting low enough. My holes, the holes that I tapped, aren't low enough. So just like pushing the spoiler up in those two corners. So
Okay.
I'm gonna take it off and redo it. It's kind of the beauty with working with fiberglass.
Yes.
Super easy
open
to
those holes
tap
up.
these holes open. All right, that is the last nut. And word to the wise, don't cross thread one of these studs because they're in rubber and they come out real easy if they are cross threaded. So sadly, we had one casualty because I just said send it. If it's gonna cross thread, doesn't matter. I just kept going and that was a mistake. But it looks like our finished product is pretty damn good. As you can see, the gap on this side is gonna be there. There's really no way around it. Otherwise, it bolts up pretty well. There's a little bit of a gap or misalignment there, but there's nothing we can do about that. And deck lid wise though, most importantly from the top, it does look really good. I gotta say, the trim around these corners, it's like the guy at the factory just kind of gave up on it and didn't do the best job.
But trim job, no.
Overall, I think it fits exceptionally well. So let's pull this outside and we can get a better look at it and then compare how the car looks now. I've got to say, I am loving the new look. The spoiler is just such a more streamlined style. It doesn't have like that bulkiness around here, which I really like how this rear rubber trim takes that away and just makes it a more svelte style here. Couple it with the aero mirrors, the wheels, and I think I'm good on the exterior of this car for now. Post in the comments, let me know what you think. Because, you know, as I think, Dave, what are you going to say? You like it?
I do. I'm a big fan.
There you go. If DP likes it, then you guys got to like it, because everything else Dave's been right on.
That's right.
So that's a wrap for this episode, I guess. Thank you for watching. If you want to pick up some merchandise, go to our eShop, check that out. And as always, hit the like button if you like this video, because that helps us out too. Or what I may want to do is...
profile it a bit, like Dremlin or something?
My own little trimming. That's a dangerous game to play, though.
It is, yeah.
So...
I wouldn't be in a hurry to do that.
No.